Newsmax being censored yet again. Two cable providers in Texas, Grande Communications and In Touch, are blocking conservative voices like Newsmax TV. Yet they keep 11 other cable news channels, including the left-wing biased CNN and MSNBS, on the air. Texas State Senator Paul Bettencourt spoke out on Twitter demanding both cable companies end their censorship of Newsmax TV. And we here at Newsmax followed up, supporting the senator, Mr. Bettencourt's efforts at promoting free speech and diversity of thought. Joining me now, the man himself, Texas State Senator Paul Bettencourt. El Senator, glad to see you, sir. Now, why is Grande and In Touch Houston refusing to allow their customers the choice to watch Newsmax TV?
You know, if I knew, I would tell you, Chris, but the bottom line is they won't do it. And that's why I'm speaking out. Look, Newsmax is a conservative voice that people want to listen to. And I'm sorry that if there's some leftist, elitist, leftist, progressive, opinion at these two cable companies, but they need to get over it and they need to adopt a fair and balanced programming card for everyone to have. And it's just sad that, I'm having to comment on what's fundamental free speech in America. They should know better, and they should be letting Newsmax onto their programs, onto their cable systems right now.
Well, amen to that. Newsmax TV is home to Diamond and Silk, Michelle Malkin, Joe Pinion, and me, your liberty-loving Latino. What is the reaction around Texas? Yes. What is the reaction around Texas to In Touch and Grande suppressing the most ethnically diverse lineup on cable news and opinion?
I tell you, there's almost no pushback from the tweet I made yesterday. It got picked up by Lieutenant Governor Patrick. It got picked up by federal Senator Ted Cruz. And there really is no pushback because there's no basis for it. If you're going to have 11 other news channels on, why not have the number 4 news channel, which is Newsmax? But this is an example of what happens with conservative companies' voices being silenced by liberal elites and in these media organizations. And quite frankly, they need to change their mind, and they need to change their mind now.
Well, this is where it comes into your arena. Are Grande and In Touch violating any Texas laws by silencing Newsmax that you know of?
Well, part of this discussion is this is the first time that we're having these type of problems and debating them. We've got a great bill coming from Chairman Brian Hughes from State Affairs about high-tech censorship. It's going to be really easy to put an amendment on that bill, and I think that bill is going to be heard next week. And the reason why there's a PUC number is because these companies have been up for sale. So the bottom line is, call them and tell them that everybody should have the same access to news, regardless of whether it's liberal or conservative. I'm not advocating to turn off, liberal sites, even though I don't watch them. But these two companies shouldn't be blocking conservative sites just because they don't want them seen.
Right. Well, in that legislative process, you might want to expand, as you're looking at the high-tech censorship, might want to expand to these cable companies and their anti-American censorship. Let me turn to something else different here. The socialists pulled off a lot of shenanigans in the vote in 2020 in Texas. What steps are you taking to prevent those types of shenanigans in the future? And how is Texas and the Democrats there in particular, how are they reacting to your efforts to shore up voting integrity?
Well, it's typical. It's very shrill. You'll see, Hearst newspapers with shrill editorials not based on facts. We had 4 integrity bills that I call them that I was offering that were going to be heard on Monday, along with, again, Chairman Hughes has an omnibus bill, SB 7. Those bills got tagged, so we're rehearing them on Friday. And these bills that got tagged, some of them are so innocuous. It's like if you've got cities and counties and school districts and you want to make election results easily found on the website, so make them 2 clicks away. Even that bill got tagged by 5 members of the Democratic minority here in the Senate. It's preposterous because we're not even having a debate on merits anymore. It's just pure ideology being driven by national think tanks like MOVE and others that are just, that no Republican input regardless of how rational it is acceptable to them. We can't change anything or we can't improve anything because we just happen to be a Republican, and that's the way this national debate is going. But it's not going to be that way in Texas because we're going to have a debate on voter integrity bills based on the merits.
Right now, Socialist Democrats attacking Texas. They have sponsored 3 crises in one: humanitarian crisis, a public health crisis, and a national security crisis. So to that southern border crisis, Biden's policies have fueled an illegal alien surge, as you well know, and repeatedly refuses to call it a crisis while pointing the blame, believe it or not, at former President Trump. Senator, I want you to listen to one illegal alien, what they told ABC's reporter when they were interviewed at the border. Listen.
Would you have tried to do this when Donald Trump was president?
Definitely not. Definitely. We had the chance, you know, the same violence that's going on today was there last year.
Did you come here because Joe Biden was elected president?
Basically.
Well, there you go, Senator. If you want to break the law, you got to wait for a Democrat socialist to be in office, or am I wrong?
Listen, Biden owns this. It's his administration decisions that have caused this. Look, he stopped deportation orders, and then our good Attorney General Ken Paxton had to sue and basically fight through that first executive order. You know, he's basically green lighted and this type of immigration and it's clearly this is illegal immigration coming across the border at this point that he has basically given a thumbs up sign. Now he won't even say that it's a crisis of his own making. Well, we're spending hundreds of millions of dollars out of our budget every year in Texas with, 2 extra Ranger companies, DPS, air assets, drones, Marine units, et cetera. And President Biden won't even take responsibility for his own actions. But I think that's wearing very thin with the American public because this crisis is obviously the Biden's administration's crisis. And there's no fact or supposition of fact that it's not.
Yeah, 3 crises, actually. Senator Paul Bettencourt of the great state of Texas, sir. It's always a pleasure talking with you. Thank you, buddy.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.